Hey, it's your girl Shay Shay. Welcome to the channel if this is your first time, and welcome back if you've been here before.
Remember when celebrities felt special? When seeing a star on TV or in a magazine or on the red carpet was exciting because it was rare? Fast forward to now, we know everything about these new celebrities. Their breakfast, their outfits, their hobbies, their political opinions, what they binge watch, who they hang out with. All this thanks to social media. And yet here's the weird part. Despite having access to all of this, it really feels like we just don't care anymore. Stars rise and fall within the time of a year. Fans move on just as fast and nothing seems to stick the way it used to. So in this video, we're breaking down why celebrity culture doesn't feel the same anymore, why fame feels fleeting, and why even the biggest stars struggle to stay unforgettable in the age of social media.
Disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only. Don't take anything said here too seriously. It's just jokes, gossip, and opinions. Please relax and enjoy the video. Everything presented in this video is alleged. I'm only spreading the word on the curb and in no way am giving my personal opinion. There was a time not that long ago when celebrities had controlled access. You didn't get updates every hour, you didn't know what they ate, who they texted, or what they looked like on a random Tuesday afternoon. If you were a star, your team carefully picked out what the public saw. Magazine covers, iconic interviews, perfectly curated paparazzi moment. And that was enough to keep your name in conversations for months. Think about the early 2000s or even the early 2010s celebrity culture. Beyonce could disappear for 2 years and still come back like she never left. I mean, I remember when it was an event when Rihanna would tweet in an unfiltered way. She used to go off on everybody. That was an event because nobody did that back in the day. Even someone like Justin Timberlake, you only saw him here and there or when you had to promote something. Celebrities weren't accessible. They were events. They were like this mythological creature that you only saw from a distance. They were curated, polished, and whether we admit it or not, it made them feel bigger than us, important, worth paying attention to. And paradoxically, contrary to today, the less we saw, the more we were obsessed.
I feel like the reason why we don't have as many superstars is also because sometimes the labels don't have as much of a stake.
They don't have as much of a budget.
Now get into that. Because where did the budget go?
The budget went to hell in a... What did they say?
They spent that budget on that Honey video. That's where the hell it went.
Well, you know, they owed it to me at that point.
When social media took over, it didn't just give celebrities new platforms, it completely rewired how fame works. Suddenly, stars weren't these distant figures who appeared only when they wanted to. They became part of the daily feed, mixed right in between your friends' brunch photos and a random meme. Instead of selecting appearances and rare interviews, now we got live streams from the couch, rushed iPhones, notes, apologies when something goes wrong, behind the scenes clips posted seconds after something happens, and constant commentary on everything trending. It's not that celebrities are trying to be boring, it's that the format of social media makes everyone look the same, and you need to be constantly in people's faces or they will forget about you because it's like a collective attention span has been brought down to zero by these apps. A-list, B-list influencers, your cousin, everyone uses the same apps, the same filters, the same captions. So really, what makes these celebrities so different? Fame used to be like a completely different universe. Now it feels like just another account in the timeline. And because updates never stop, nothing feels like a moment anymore. Even big announcements like new albums, new movies, new relationships get swallowed up by the feed in 24 hours. The hype doesn't get a chance to build. It barely gets a chance to exist at all. And the end result is that celebrities are more visible than ever, but the thing is that it does feel a lot less impactful. Being everywhere has made them seem like they're nowhere interesting in particular.
So apparently record labels are finding it hard to find singers that last. You know, like a Taylor Swift, an Ariana Grande, a Beyonce, if you will. It seems like all the up-and-coming singers are just viral for the moment and then it's on to the next. Now, I'm gonna give my personal opinion on this, and I feel like my opinion is correct. But at the end of the day, it's my opinion, so if you don't agree, that's okay. But I blame social media. I feel like stars are easier to succeed when we don't know anything about them. Before social media, the only time you found out something about a celebrity is when they were interviewed. And back then, celebrities had coaches to teach them how to answer certain questions. That way, celebrities gave us just enough information to where we feel like we know a lot, but we still know absolutely nothing about them. These days, people are becoming famous before they know how to be famous, you know what I mean? We can talk to the world in the palm of our hands now, so why wait until Jimmy Fallon invites you on his show to talk about your album when you can just go on TikTok and talk about your album? But oopsie, you have R. Kelly playing in the background and now you're canceled. Oopsie, you just said the N-word on Instagram Live and you're not black. You're canceled. Oopsie, you just posted a picture on Instagram of your family reunion and everyone's wearing Trump hats. Now you're canceled. It is best when your fans are left in the dark. One thing that all the successful singers have in common is that we know nothing about them. Do you know who Ariana Grande voted for? No, it's not important. Do we know if Beyonce listens to R. Kelly? No, it doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with her music. Do we know if Taylor Swift says the N-word? No, and we probably never will know. These days, all the new artists are sharing everything.
Because everything moves so quickly now, celebrities' careers don't unfold the way they used to. There's no slow burn, no multi-year build, no anticipation. Artists go viral overnight and sometimes just fade as fast. Labels and managers treat visibility like it's the same thing as longevity, but it's not. 1 million views doesn't mean 1 million fans. A trending sound doesn't mean people care about you. Look at Ice Spice for an example. She was everywhere and now she's nowhere interesting. And that's why today's stars feel like they live on a timer. You can be the internet's favorite person in March and already forgotten by August. Not because you're untalented, but because the audience is already chasing the next aesthetic, the next micro trend, the next 15-second celebrity pipeline moment. Big established names aren't untouchable. The second they slow down on posting, someone else takes their spot in the algorithm. Famous turn into a rotation, not a hierarchy. I really feel like there's an elite few, which tend to be from older generations of pop stars, that still manage to keep their crown in today's environment. Another reason these careers feel unstable is because celebrities aren't just competing with each other anymore, they're competing with influencers, and influencers play an entirely different game. They can film a video in their bedroom, edit it in 10 minutes, and hit 1 million before a celebrity even finishes negotiating a brand-friendly caption. Influencers understand how to feed the algorithm. Celebrities are still trying to feed a brand, and the algorithm doesn't care about legacy, status, or iconic moment. It cares about speed. So while artists spend months preparing a project, influencers drop 20 pieces of content in a single afternoon and dominate attention for that short term. By the time the hype dies down, well, they could put out more content. It makes celebrities look slow, even when they're working non-stop. And in a culture that rewards immediacy, anything that looks slow gets treated as outdated.
Gen Z is never going to have a Britney Spears, a Michael Jackson, an NSYNC, a Backstreet Boys, a Beyonce, because what it takes to make that level of pop star is unethical.
Good video, you made some good points, but I don't think a lack of ethics is the reason we won't see any more pop icons like we did back then. You see, we got those artists at a time where our attention spans as a society was able to slow down and tune into it. And the reason that time frame was so effective as it pertains to pop icons was because we didn't have access to anything. Everything was more gate-kept and controlled, and this created a huge amount of mystique for the artists. The technology back then was so primitive that we were only able to hear and see the artists when the industry told us we could hear and see the artists. We had to sit by the TV and wait for the music videos to come on, or wait for an award show, where we could see them perform, or wait for a late night show where they did interviews, and this was very far and few in between. We had to wait for the radio stations to play the songs. If we wanted to own the music personally so we could hear it whenever we wanted to, we had to actually go to a record store and buy a physical copy of the product, be it a tape or a CD. And this cost somewhere between $14 to $20 depending on when and where you bought the CD from. And then we had to take the tape or CD out of the package, put it in a tape deck or a CD player on the radio, sit there and wait for it to boot up, and then tediously play each song one by one. We had to skip, push the buttons to skip and rewind and fast forward. It was tedious. It was nothing like it is now. All of these things made us care a lot more because it was more of a big deal to us. We had to put more investment into it. When we did see our pop stars on TV, we were glued to the TV because it was more of an event. When Michael Jackson would put out a music video, it was like a worldwide event. Why? Because of primitive technology and a lack of access.
So where does it all leave celebrity culture now? Honestly, in a weird in-between space, because on one hand, tabloids and PR teams still pretend celebs are these untouchable icons, but on the other hand, those same celebs are competing with influencers who drop content every 2 minutes, stay active in group chats, and post their entire life before a publicist even wakes up. Celebs used to float above everyone else, like, oh darling, you'll hear from me when I wake up. Now, they're scrambling to keep up with TikTokers doing dance moves in their bathrooms, and that's why everything feels flat. Only a handful can maintain the illusion of mystique when influencers are out here producing quick, messy, relatable content at lightning speed, and audiences eat that up because it feels real and authentic. And here's the catch. Even with that shift, audiences aren't impressed by celebrities trying to act like influencers either. When a celebrity suddenly starts posting chaotic TikToks or oversharing for engagement, audiences can smell the strategy from a mile away. It feels forced, it feels late, and it feels like they're reacting instead of leading, which is the opposite of what made people celebrity level interesting in the first place. So now, we're in this moment where celebrities are trying to find a new lane, not mysterious like the old days, but not hyper-accessible like influencers, something in between, something authentic but still elevated, something human but not too human, because oversharing is what made people stop caring in the first place. And maybe that's the whole problem. Celebrities haven't figured out how to adapt without chasing trends, losing their identity, or melting down on the internet every 6 weeks. The culture shifted, but most of them didn't shift with it, and audiences, they moved on too.
I just don't understand how there's just not any age-appropriate, like, music artists for, like, kids and preteens anymore. Like, that just doesn't seem to be a thing anymore. I don't know if I'm just, like, not in tune to what the kids are listening to, but, like, I just don't see any age-appropriate music. There's literally no boy bands. There's no teen idol, pop star, like, whatever. Like, there's just nothing. And so I'm just like, what are kids listening to? Like, they're listening to the same thing that we're listening to as adults. And I understand that, like, that's always going to happen. That's always been a thing. You know, we listened to music growing up that we had literally no business listening to. I'll be looking back like, damn, listen to them lyrics. But my point is that we had options. I'm only 26. I graduated high school in 2016. Like, we had options. We had, you know, Justin Bieber, One Direction, Mindless Behavior, Cody Simpson. Like, we had so many age-appropriate artists on top of the popular music that was popular in the adult realm. I don't know. Like, it's just strange to me that there just seems to be, like, none. Or at least if there are, they're just not on the level, like, they just don't have the level of popularity to where I would know who they are, I guess. But I feel like I keep a pretty good radar on the music scene, and it's just crazy to me to think about. I'm so sorry to younger Gen Z and Gen Alpha that y'all do not have a Justin Bieber-like figure, because we were so spoiled. I'm not even gonna lie.
Please leave all your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below, and leave a like if you've enjoyed this content so far. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Shay Shay out.